Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Yusuf, your average One Piece enjoyer. Today we're going to continue our journey ranking One Piece arcs, with the second arc of the series being Orange Town. We're still going to use the same matrix, which is settings, characters, plot, conflict, and themes. We assign 10 points for each of these categories, giving us a total of 50 points. Then we squash that to a 10 out of 10 ranking. But since Raman's Don's video was a bit biased, I would say, we're going to put everything into One Piece standards. For example, settings. A 10 out of 10 settings will be something like Whole Cake Island, which was really majestic. Or Zou, for example. It was really majestic and interesting to know. But something like Fuji Village will be 1 out of 10. Any arc will just fall between that scale. 1 at Fuji Village and 10 at Whole Cake Island, for example. This goes with each and every category that I just mentioned here. Characters, conflict, themes, plot, everything. Right, so let's go ahead and start with settings. At first glance, Orange Town is just your regular village or regular town in One Piece. However, there was one twist that made it really interesting. It told a story. A story of pirates attacking a village and wiping it out. Because at the first scene, you see a girl running around with pirates chasing her. What about the townspeople? Where are they? What happened to them? There was that sense of intrigue to know more about this place. What's going on? Where are the people? What happened exactly? Why are the pirates here? Also, it was a great setup for the conflict of Luffy and Zoro fighting those pirates who oppressed the townspeople. So that's the only thing that I like. However, the buildings, the weather, the town itself is just like your regular town. So for that, I'll just give it a 6 out of 10 ranking. Now, since we're on the second arc of the series, we're going to discuss characters into two different perspectives. Number one, new characters that have been added to the series. For example, Cat Burglar Nami, my favorite navigator, a trickster who just runs around stealing from pirates. I was really interested in her because, thanks to animation, the opening already spoiled that she's going to join the crew. But I was really interested what makes her risk her life in that pirate era, steal from pirates, you know? What exactly happened? So that was a great setup also for Arlong Park and Nami's backstory. Second, we have Churchill the Brave Dog, who is willing to just sacrifice his life for his friend's shop, or actually his shop right there. We have then the mayor, who built this town from scratch and was not going to give it up for pirates. Since he did that last time where he lived before, he just gave up his town for pirates. And this one he built from scratch, so he was not willing to give that up at all for pirates again. Also, we got Buggy. This guy I was really interested in because he was the very first devil fruit user to stand against Luffy. So, I mean, Luffy was overpowered so far in the story with his Gomu Gomu no Mi ability. Having another devil fruit user standing in front of him and actually giving him a hard time was really interesting for me. Now, the second perspective was developing existing characters like Zoro and Luffy, because in this arc, Oda really shed the light on Zoro's loyalty. I mean, the guy just busted his guts to save Luffy, a man he met a few days ago. So that was some hardcore loyalty here. Also, his determination. I mean, his fight against Kabaji, where he was already injured, he had a building following him, he had his guts open, you know, he was not in a shape to fight at all. However, he said, if in that shape I lost someone like you, I will never be the greatest. So that was supreme determination here. Also, we got Luffy, a guy who protects his treasure and everyone's treasure. For example, when someone messed up his hat, he just went crazy, right? With Buggy and with the 3 pirates at the beginning of the arc. Also, once he realized Churchill's fight against Moji to protect the shop and the mayor's determination to fight against Buggy to save his town. Once Luffy realized that these two characters hold the shop and the village as treasures and they are being oppressed by someone like Buggy, he didn't think twice. He just went ahead and said, I'm going to defeat Buggy. I really liked how Luffy was developing, or like how we slowly came to understand Luffy's character right there. A guy who liberates everyone who's oppressed. So that was really cool. And for characters, I'll give it 8 out of 10 actually, because it was really fantastic. For the plot, we have our 2 idiots, Luffy and Zoro, sailing the seas without food or drink. And of course, 0 navigation skills, which ties really well with meeting Nami, the navigator, and one of the most important members when it comes to sailing the high seas, especially the pirates' graveyard, the Grand Line. So having Nami on board really progressed the story further, because without her, we're not going anywhere. Also, speaking of navigation, we got the Grand Line map from Buggy.
グランドラインの海図があれば一躍出るんです夢じゃないのよ海図お前航海士そこらの航海士より腕は立つわよ
Again, another thing that progressed the story so much, because right now we know how to go to the Grand Line, and from there we can go ahead and find the One Piece. So that was a great progression as well. We also understood that there's all sorts of pirates in this world. We have pirates like Buggy, who would inhabit villages, take their treasure, stay for a few days, and move forward, and that's their life. And we have Luffy and Zoro, people who seek adventure. They enjoy risking their life. They enjoy exploring. They love it. This is the kind of pirate. So we have Buggy and we have Luffy. Both are pirates, but both are contradictory to each other. So that was really good to know as well. So for the plot, I will give that 8 out of 10 because it was really nice and it progressed the story so much. Now for the conflict, it's really funny because we have Nami, the trickster, tricking Luffy to act as her boss, who ordered the steal on Buggy, and then capturing him to convince Buggy that she would like to join him. Of course, to actually steal his treasure, thus creating that conflict between Luffy and Buggy. However, Zoro steps in and saves Luffy. From there, they can just move forward with their lives. However, it gets personal because Moji is ordered to find Luffy and Zoro afterward. In the progress of doing that, he stumbles upon Churchill, who protects his shop and gets beat up by him. Luffy, realizing what happened to that dog's treasure and then hearing the mayor's story about the town and how Buggy has been oppressing them, it gets personal, really personal. And Luffy just makes up his mind that he needs to beat up Buggy to pulp. So for the conflict, I'll give that 8 out of 10 as well. Now for the theme, by far my favorite theme of the entire story was always treasure. I mean, I watched One Piece for the sole reason of finding out the treasure that Gold Roger has left behind. We also got multiple views in treasure. We have Buggy, who views treasure as gold and silver. We have Bottle, the mayor, who treasures his town since he built it from scratch. We have Churchill, who treasures his friend's bet shop and is willing to give his life for it. And then of course we have Luffy, who treasures his straw hat. All these items are regular items, but it's only of value to these specific people because they have their unique dramatic stories behind why they value it. Because a straw hat for me is just a hat, but for Luffy it's a promise to his mentor. So that's what makes an item a treasure to someone, because it has its own story for that specific person, which really makes me more intrigued and interested to know what the One Piece is, right? So for the theme, I would give that an easy 10 out of 10. Now, let's take a look at the numbers, shall we? We have settings at 6 out of 10, we have characters at 8 out of 10, plot also 8, and conflict is also 8 out of 10. And themes, as I mentioned, is 10 out of 10, so that brings our total to 40 out of 50, which is 8 out of 10. That's the ranking for Orange Town. I hope that you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed doing it. And subscribe for more of that. See you.